Hello, everyone. This is James again. This is what I have received on January 5th, 2016. It was a short vision, but it was very powerful. And this was during the day while I was seeking the Lord Jesus Christ. It starts out in a city, and everyone's just walking around, going about their daily lives. And then all of a sudden, I see a girl within the midst of everyone else. She's running, and she's running really fast. And as she's running, she makes a lunge and she leaps into the air. And then when she leaps into the air, she essentially changes. Her body disappears, and all I see is lightning. So her body turns into lightning, and all I see is her physical head. Um, the human body head. I saw her head, and the rest of her body was lightning, and she was going straight into the air. And then as she was going straight into the air in the sky, it was as if she started to turn. Her body started to turn, and it was like as if she was going into some type of portal. And as she was turning and going through this portal, I knew that she was changing, and I knew she was going through some type of portal. And as this was happening, when she came out on the other side, she turned into like a jewel, like a diamond or emerald. She turned into a jewel. And then after that, I saw the Lord Jesus Christ. And what I saw was he was standing ready to receive her. And then I saw it zoomed in on where his chest is, in his bosom. And in his bosom, I saw in the breastplate of his bosom, underneath the cloth, I saw a stone. And on the stone was places where jewels actually would go into. They would fit in perfectly. And what happened was she went right into because she turned into the jewel. So then she went right into a spot inside the stone, the breastplate, the stone that he had on his chest. And then he covered the stone with that was his chest. He covered it, and then he turned around and walked away, and then everything around him was like blank. And so what I got from that was that the jewels that he had before the foundations of the world, they're going to be returned back to him, and will forever be with him. And it was just very powerful. I'll just give a little bit of clarification on what I meant. I saw him, and as I saw and these are some of the scriptures that I believe pertain to this. You look at them in the description box below. I'm not going to read all of them, but uh, I will read two of them. Hebrews chapter 12, 1-2. Therefore, we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. And the next one I wanted to read was Ephesians chapter 2, verse 19-22. Now therefore you are no longer strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and members of the household of God, having been built on the foundation of the apostles and the prophets, Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom the whole building being joined together grows into a holy temple in the Lord, in whom you also are being built together for a dwelling place of God in the Spirit. I'll just read the other ones as well. Then there's Matthew 24, verses 17-28. For as the lightning comes from the east and flashes to the west, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. For wherever the carcass is, there the eagles will be gathered together. Matthew 16:18-19. And I also say to you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it. And I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Also, the book of John, chapter 14, verses 2-3. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also.